Welcome back all to another lecture in our series of AML KYC. And today we will be continuing with the AML regulations across the globe with a focus today towards North America, that is USA and Canada. So let's get straight into it. So USA. So these are the regulations or governing regulations for AML and KYC in USA. So the first is the Bank Secrecy Act of 1970. So as you know, this is the primary legislation or say AML legislation which requires basically financial institutes to kind of keep record and file reports which are useful in preventing money laundering. Then we have the USA Patriot Act of 2001. So after the 9/11, basically this act was introduced, which kind of focused the strength in identifying customers. So this act kind of laid down the uh, SAR, STR, all those frameworks and identifying customers. So this is the USA Patriot Act. Then we have the Anti-Money Laundering Act of 2020, AMLA. So basically, this act, what it did was it expanded the reach of BSA, and this introduced the concept of, or say, new requirements for identifying beneficial ownership information. So AMLA kind of introduced or expanded the reach into the AMLA, into the beneficial ownership thing. Then we have the FinCEN regulations. So FinCEN is Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. So they lay down certain rules and regulations for customer due diligence and AML requirements. Then we have OFAC regulations. OFAC is Office of Foreign Asset Control. So they also lay down certain rules and regulations, and they have certain list which we need to go through while doing screening and everything. So if it falls under the OFAC block list and all, then we go ahead and take actions accordingly. Then we have the SEC regulations. So SEC is the Securities Exchange Commission. So they kind of lay down rules for AML requirements for securities firm and broking dealers basically. So in a nutshell, these are the governing laws and regulations for United States of America. So now let's focus on Canada. So the primary legislation of Canada into the AML and CFT is the Proceeds of Crime, Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing Act, PCMLTFA of 2000. So this is the primary or core legislation in AML, which implements program, then record keeping, then reporting of suspicious transactions, etc. Then we have Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Center of Canada guidelines, FinTrack. So this is another body which provide detailed guidelines on with compliance for the PCMLTFA Act. This also kind of emphasize on reporting and record keeping. Then we have the Office of Superintendent of Financial Institutions or OFSI guidelines. So these of OSFI gives detailed information or expectations for compliance in federally regulated financial institutions. So those financial institutions which are regulated by the federal government. So this provides the guidelines for those basically. Then we have Department of Finance Canada AML CFT regulations. So this department supports regulations to the PCML TFA and provide further compliance requirements. So it's basically supporting the PCML TFA. Then we have Canadian Securities Administrators CSA guidelines. So these kind of shows or gives guidelines to dealers and mutual fund dealers and securities dealer. So they provide guidelines to these entities. Then we also have for Canada one more, which is the Investment Industry Regulatory Organization of Canada, or IIROC. So they give all these regulations for AML CFT for investment dealers and brokers. So these are the Canadian regulations for AML CFT, and this covers the North America chapter. So in our next series, we will definitely go ahead and try to cover Latin America, or say Middle East. So whichever you want, do comment down. So we'll go ahead and see those. And thank you once again for putting up the support always as usual. Please keep subscribing. We need to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I request you to go through the video entirely so that you do not miss anything. So thank you again, and we'll meet in the next lecture. Bye bye.